Right, everything that you're seeing here is for 2020 only. Something here should jump out big time, right? Look at foreign supplier verification. Obviously here now, FDA is showing that, man, they're writing a lot of 43 inspectional observations relative to foreign supplier verification. So hazard identification, pest control, operational conditions, personnel practices, all four of these categories, well, three of the four. Hazard identification is tied to your food safety plan. And the other three, pest, operational, and personnel practices, are tied to GMP audits within FDA. From those top five, here's the verbiage that FDA associated with this as a category. So the little dots at the end is what this means is that you did not develop a foreign supplier program, right? Your hazard analysis, the next point on the list, did not identify a known or reasonably foreseeable hazard that required a preventive control. FDA has put together a guidance document which lists out the chemical, physical, and microbiological hazards that they consider relevant and that you should be considering. So I want everybody to kind of pay attention to a word that is showing up in this multiple times. You did not develop. You did not conduct. So your 483 prevention action plan, audit like FDA. Think in terms of GMP audits and think in terms of FSMA audits. You definitely need to dig deep into your foreign supplier verification program. And there's lots of moving parts. FSVP is not part of 117. It's 1.5. And people miss that, right? You need to go and read the regs around that and what is required and figure out within your company who's taking care of for the foreign suppliers, who is the registered agent, who is taking care of the registration in the CBP program. What DUNS number are you using? What are the locations of the product? Who owns it at entry? These type of activities. Who in your company is managing those? Revisit your hazard analysis. Remember, it's always best to use FDA's own data and the government's own data for your hazard analysis, right? You're talking the same language with the government and the regulatory authorities for this process. What you need to think about and take away from this presentation is, how does this data impact your food safety plan? How can you now take this and roll this back into your hazard analysis and get together in your companies with your food safety teams? What preventive controls do you have in place? So if metal is coming in suppliers, what are we doing to either audit or do random checks or some type of a program associated with that within our preventive controls for supply chain? How can we beef up our GMPs? What can we do to make sure that the pest control program is working adequately? What can we do to make sure? How can we increase our awareness of those prerequisites? Any plant that has allergens or has allergen changeovers, looking at that sanitation verification program, how do you know that works? Environmental monitoring, right? This is very, very important. FDA, when they're going in, they're focusing on zone 1 and zone 2. They may look at zone 3, not a whole lot of zone 4, right? Pretty much opposite the way in industry we've been looking at this. You need to look really closely at your environmental program. And again, allergen control, right? Resources for this, right? Your food safety data file, using this for compliance and all these things that FDA has, and analyzing this data in different ways. And of course, working with EAS, 150 plus people out there who understand these type of subjects and can help you accelerate your process and take this information to the next level.